From Pethor, a city on the Euphrates River, welcome to Donkey Talk, starring that famous, miraculous talking donkey, Hamor, with special guest host, the former harlot who was saved by a miracle from God, Rahab. This week, Hamor will be sharing her own special story with us about how God miraculously gave her the ability to talk. And now, ladies, here's Rahab.
As you all know, this show has only been on for a very short amount of time, and in that time, Donkey Talk is now the #1 late-night talk show. I'm so excited to be the special host tonight, especially with our special host, who is the actual host of Donkey Talk. I'm so excited for her to be here tonight, and I would ask you to please put your hands and your hooves together tonight to welcome my favorite donkey and yours, Hamor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Rahab, my friend. Yo. I must say it is quite strange to come out here as a guest. Not sure what's going to happen, but here we go.
Hello, Hamor.
Oh, it's so good to be here. Thank you for taking my chair tonight.
You are welcome. Well, Hamor, your life has certainly changed since God gave you the miracle of speech.
Well, hee-haw, it sure has.
I'm sure most people in our audience and at home have heard some of the basic details of your story, but we would love to hear the rest of it, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Yes.
I brought all the facts right here. I would love to share with you the rest of my tale. It all started on a beautiful day. My master, Balaam, had some visitors. He always love it when people visit, because that means the animals come with them. That's when I get all the juicy gossip from those donkeys and mules that come and stay with us. I get such a kick out of it. Get it? Kick?
I get it.
Anyway, the visiting mules and donkeys were really loaded down with gifts.
Gifts? Who was sending gifts to Balaam?
Well, my master was considered a seer. He practiced magic and divination. He was not a good prophet. He said he knew God, but his heart and walk were not right. Even I could see that.
Wow, I would think that if someone was a prophet, they for sure would follow Psalm 119, 1-8 and 11 by seeking God with his whole heart and keeping his laws.
He wasn't always that way. When he first came to Pethor, my master did follow God, but then he started to compromise. He wanted to be popular, get along with everyone. He became famous for his blessings and cursings. And let me tell you, he always had a good amount of cursings.
Wow. So who were the visitors who came to see your master?
Listen to this. They were all the king's horses.
And all the king's men?
Wanting Balaam to curse the Israelis again.
Ooh, this donkey can rhyme. So did Balaam do it? I mean, if the king asks you to do something, I would think you'd better do it.
You see, the king also sent lots of gifts to try to bribe my master. But my master at least said the right thing. He always knew what to say. He always knew all the words to make them think. He always served the one true God. My master invited them to stay, and then said he would seek a word from God.
So Balaam prayed and asked God what he should say to the king?
Yes, but I don't think it was the answer my master was hoping for. You see, my master had already looked over all the gifts and all the animals that the king had sent for him. He so desired them. But God had already blessed Israel and wouldn't let anyone curse them. God is always faithful to keep his promises.
That's something Balaam and the king should have known. God will not turn against his people.
Well, I got the scoop from some Israelite donkeys that their masters had already been told by God not to go against Moab.
So really, King Balak had no reason to be afraid.
That just shows that their hearts were not in the right place. They were only looking out for their own desires and fears.
So did God give your master something to say to all of the king's men?
He always answers those who seek him. Yes, God told my master that he was to send them away and not to go with them, because God had already blessed the Israelites. I was so proud of my master. He got up in the morning and told the men to leave because God had refused to let him go.
Your master was obedient. That's wonderful. That should be the end of the story then, right?
That should be the end of the story, but let me tell you the rest of the story. I was so glad not to have to make that journey to Moab.
Why is that?
Well, let me tell you about my master. He isn't as thin as he used to be. He always takes seconds and has put on the weight. He isn't as easy to carry anymore.
Yes, I can see where that would be problematic. And speaking of weight, here's a word from our sponsor. Has your donkey been losing weight? Is she coughing or having a runny nose? Does her hair feel rougher than usual? Experiencing loose stools? Or can't even go? Then your donkey could be suffering from worms or bots. That's right. Those tiny, irritating parasites can cause all of the above. But don't you be afraid. We have the answer. Dr. Luke's new ivermectin. Your donkey will feel like its old self in no time. That's right, Dr. Luke's ivermectin. 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 One application, a full application, will take care of all of those annoying parasites that want to make your donkey their home. And if your family ever gets that pesky little virus going around that's causing a pandemic, be sure to keep a tube on hand. Call Dr. Luke today. Your donkeys will thank you. So, since that wasn't the end of the story, what happens next?
Well, the king wasn't taking no for an answer. Even more important of all the king's horses
And all the king's men
came to bring treasures to Balaam again. Hey, you're getting the hang of it. There were more horses bringing more gifts to try to bribe my master.
Oh my. God doesn't usually change his mind. So I'm sure Balaam knew that and would tell them just to go back home.
That's what I thought too. But when I looked at my master, gazing on all that wealth, I knew a trip to Moab would be in our future. Whether God allowed it or not, but of course my master had to make it look good. He always tries to make it look good. So he asked God if he could go again.
Did God's answer change?
No, but my master was stubborn. He wouldn't give up. God could see my master's heart, and he knew he wouldn't give up, so he agreed to let my master go on one condition: that he would only speak the true message from God.
So your master got God to change his mind?
Oh, no. God didn't change his mind. He was just going to let my master burn his own hide. So my master dressed in his best robes and jumped on my back. Oh, he always jumps on my back.
They sure could have saved themselves a lot of anxiety and trouble, not to mention money, if they had just taken their eyes off themselves and listened to God's answer the first time.
Humans are always looking out for more for themselves. Most never seem content. We donkeys just trust God to meet our needs. If we have enough pasture, space, feed, and water, we are content. We don't need high-quality feed. We are known to flourish on what the haughtier animals in the barn would just throw away.
I did not know that.
There are lots of things humans don't know about donkeys. For example, humans call us stubborn. We aren't stubborn. We just don't run right into a situation. We stop and assess the situation. Oh, that humans would do that more. This surely would have saved my master.
How so?
Don't you see? We were on our way to Moab. It was a beautiful day, and things were going just fine until...
Until what?
Until the angel of the Lord appeared right in the middle of the road, and he had a sword. Remember, donkeys aren't stubborn. When we sense danger, we freeze and assess the situation. We don't move another step until we figure out the safest way to go. There was a wall on one side of the road and a field on the other side. Remember, God was angry at Balaam for pretty much demanding his own way. So when I saw the angel of the Lord with a sword, I thought for sure it was over for my master. I thought he would be thankful that I saved him from danger. But no, he hauled off and hit me and made me go back on that road, heading right back towards the angel of the Lord with the sword.
You must have been so scared.
You bet. And I wasn't horsing around. I didn't want to go near that angel, so I got as close to the wall as I could. But I didn't realize my master's foot was caught between me and the wall.
Oh no, that must have made him so mad.
Mad isn't the half of it. He was beating me and calling me a name that wasn't donkey. But then the angel of the Lord came closer so that I couldn't go around him.
What did you do?
What any smart donkey would do.
Yes?
I laid down. If my master was going to call me stubborn, I was going to play the part.
I'm sure Balaam loved that.
He loved it so much that he called me several terms of endearment, which are not recorded in the Bible for good reason. And my master beat me again. I wished at that time that I could bray something at him and just say a few things.
I think we all would have loved to have been there to see that.
And then God performed a miracle. I gathered my mouth, my bravery, and I opened it. Hee-haw was what I intended to say. But at that moment, I was able to utter human words. I looked up at my master and I said, "Hey, what have I done to you that you have to hit me 3 times?"
That must have made Balaam stop in his tracks. I bet he didn't even know what to say.
He always thinks he knows what to say. The thing is, he was so angry that he didn't even know that God had performed a miracle by letting me talk. He told me that I made him look like a fool. Well, I don't think I did that. He was already a fool for not listening to what God told him.
Was that all you said? Surely you wanted to say more after that.
I sure did. I am the same donkey that has been with my master all my life. I have the bruises to prove it. So I looked at him and I said, "Hee-haw! Have I ever done anything like this to you before?" My master couldn't say much. No. And then God opened my master's eyes. He was made aware that I was only trying to protect him from danger. My master saw the angel of the Lord with the sword and fell on the ground and bowed his face before him. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't a very good donkey at that moment because I just wanted to haul off and kick him. Right in the donkey. Then the angel of the Lord spoke to my master and asked him why he had beaten me 3 times. And he didn't ask nicely. He told my master that even the donkey had seen him, and he could have killed my master 3 times and still spared me.
Don't stop. I'm on the edge of my seat. Aren't you all on the edges of your seat? Please, keep going.
Again, he always knows the right things to say, even if he doesn't act the right way. So he confessed to the angel and said he would turn around and go home. But God was still somewhat angry and told him to go with all the king's horses
and all the king's men.
But my master was told to only say the words that God gave him.
Wow. God really used you to get that message across to Balaam. Folks, if God can use a donkey
and a harlot,
he can surely use anything or anyone.
Hey, what are you implying?
Oh, nothing. It's just that when people do stupid things, we always hear somebody say, "You are a dumb..."
Don't ever think that God can't use you. He always can use anything or anyone. Just keep your eyes on him and remember his promises. Be a donkey, not a Balaam.
Well, I sure got a kick out of being your host this week. Join us next week for Donkey Talk when Hamor will talk with another special guest.
That's right. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who do you think it should be?
Could I suggest the serpent from the garden?